So the first deck today, I was asked to build around Painter Servant. Painter Servant, really weird card. As it enters the battlefield, all cards that aren't on the battlefield and are on the battlefield are all one color. So the idea here is to Painter Servant naming black and really power up your Auriok Champion, your Mirran Crusaders, your Devout Lightcasters, and your Veil of Summers. And also, buff Giver of Runes a bit. Devout Lightcaster come down, be a true name nemesis that also exiles any permanent on the battlefield, including lands, and then Crusader being a 2/2 double striker, protection from everything. Auriok Champion main deck, just kind of a nice main deck card anyways. Then we have 4 Eladamri's Calls to Finder Painter Servants, or any of our other creatures, of course. And then some, tutor targets in the sideboard for specific matchups. I'm pretty excited about this one. I think this is going to be exciting. Is it going to be good? Probably not, but I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. Old Night 6 months, good morning. A sub-anniversary on National Worship of Tools Day. I'm going to keep this hand. Obviously, no Painter Servant, but we do have a turn 1 Vial, which is nice. And it's also always possible Veil of Summer is just, gnarly in the matchup. Playing against Inverter. The color is an addition to. That's good to remember. Good to remember. Definitely a weird card. Okay, so that can find us a Painter Servant. It can also find us something else, but we're probably fetching Painter Servant with this. Yeah, it could be Mill. Could be Mill, actually, you're right. Yeah, but it's not. I'm a little worried about just dying, of course. But I also don't have really many combo hate cards or anything like that in my main deck. I could just get a Skyclave Apparition and Skyclave their Talisman. I don't know, that's just not really what we came here to do. How does Painter Servant and Devoid work? I think Painter Servant beats Devoid. It's actually a really interesting question. Do I have any dono spots open today? I do not, and I also do not ever take a day of donations for these decks. Guess I'll just main phase this. Like, they know we have the Painter Servant, but one thing you can do is if they kill this with like a lightning bolt, you can respond in Vial and Painter Servant and fizzle the removal spell. Not main decking Celestial Purge. I did kind of consider it. We have Devout Lightcaster instead as kind of like that slot. And maybe we should be. Oh, we're just dead? Looks like we're just dead. They have to have Spoils plus Oracle, right? We do get to see their whole deck, which is nice. Getting killed turn 3. What do they name? They should name Simian Spirit Guide. They do name Simian Spirit Guide. Awesome. So yeah, they're playing Inverter. So notably, Gaddock Teeg is not really doing much out of the sideboard. I guess I would stop that. Alright, Collector Ouphe is going to be good. Phyrexian Revoker is going to be good. I could see Damping Sphere being a powerful effect. We're going to be cutting the Auriok Champions in this matchup. Do I want Teeg? I don't really feel like I want Teeg. It only stops Jace. Which seems way too narrow to me. I'll just play like 2 Damping Sphere. Stop like there. Turns like that. Ugin would be fun in this deck. Yeah, I'm certainly hoping to not have to play against an Ugin. It's also kind of hard to cast 8 mana Planeswalkers in this deck. How do they have the mana for Jace? They had Jace underneath Shellduck Isle. Is how. Pretty sure we're going to try to go Painter Servant into Devout Lightcaster here. Oh man, this card looks awesome when it's gold. Oh my gosh. That looks great. They have a Pinhead Prism, a black Pinhead Prism, notably. Certainly hoping for no removal spell here. I'm supposed to get the Temple Garden because I do have 2 green spells in my hand. Probably be fine. It's working! It's working! Kind of. Blue. For Oracle. Lightcaster gets to attack through the Oracle. I think there must be missing lands, yeah. So let's try to kill him real quick, I think, with a Crusader. So almost definitely Phyrexian Unlife here, right? Yeah. Which is fine. We're probably playing Damping Sphere now. No, I'm just going to Skyclave now. Hit them for 6, down to 7. That next turn, because we can also send in with the Painter Servant. They have another Unlife, though. Fair enough. Hierarch. Probably don't need to hold up Vial. I think I'll play Hierarch and Sphere here. Can we get a prediction on Crusader with Toski out? Maybe. It can be difficult for our opponent to kill us, right? Yeah, they just like in these kind of spots they need to go Angel's Grace Unlife. Kind of funny that City of Brass does deal them an infect. So up to 2 infect now. And now they're... I guess they're going to go to 1. Okay, they're going to go to 1 unless we can kill the Oracle. So they're probably going to plan on invertering next turn, but if we Revoker the Jace, that doesn't kill us. I guess. Oh yeah, we can't get a 3-drop and play it because of the Damping Sphere, sadly. I guess we could also just get Hierarch and attack for 8, right? Yeah, let's do that. Just kill him. Yeah, this seems to be the line. Every 17 Painter Servant's X, I always ask is Tessa Orzhov sign, which goes infinite when the tokens become the same color as exile abilities in consideration. Maybe. Maybe. It's kind of an interesting idea. I got game 2. Still not sure if I want this Teeg or not. I feel like I don't. Kind of feel like I don't want the full 4 Veil of Summers, though. They've kind of been not that good. In this matchup, at least. Opponent doesn't have a lot of targeted stuff, it seems. Well, hard to mulligan a Painter Servant plus Devout Lightcaster. Is Servant supposed to name black? Yeah, that's the idea. And, like, power up your cards. Now, I was asked to build around Painter Servant, and that's exactly what we've done here today. So yeah, we do get to exile any permanent on turn 3. Might just be better to end up Skyclaving, we'll see. Might just be dead on turn 3. Can I say Painter Servant in a very stereotypical New York accent? No. I can't. Why no Coco in this deck? You could play Coco. I'm just kind of playing... I'm choosing to play Eladamri's Call instead to try to find exactly Painter Servant a bit more reliably. But you could play Coco. It might be good to Skyclave the Talisman this turn. It's possible that that Skyclaving the Unlife at like instant speed next turn is going to win us the game. Or sorry, Devout Lightcastering the Unlife next turn at instant speed will win us the game. Can I Lightcaster instead? I think it's better to lead on the Skyclave because this can hit any permanent. So this could like hit a Jace or an Inverter maybe. Not that hitting Inverter is probably that good. I guess this can also hit Jace and Inverter. So maybe that's just this flawed logic. Yeah, so if my opponent goes Spoils and they don't have an Angel's Grace, we can just win next turn. In response to the Jace trigger. It's probably not what we want to do though. It's probably just gonna be better to exile Jace. Get aggressive. Kind of close between which creature to exile, of course. Yeah, am dodging Slaughter Pact here. Am dodging Doomblade. Ah. Guess you're dead. I mean, not necessarily. Yeah, they named Spirit Guide. So yeah, if we had held up the Devout Lightcaster at instant speed, it could have won us this game. Kind of tough to tell which card, or which line was the right one. With limited interaction. But cool game. Deck was definitely functioning. One has revealed Lurrus of the Dream Den. We've got a main deck Veil of Summer that I think I'm just going to hold up here. Notably, this is the only fetchable green source, so I'm going to lead on that. Rather than playing a fetch land. I would love to just get to game 1 Veil of Summer right now. I think I'm about to get to. Poggers, dude. Yeah, this is definitely... Yeah, Veil of Summer into Auriok Champion against Lurrus game 1. Yikes. We might just get like the whole... We might just get a match concession here. We'll see. Maybe not. My opponent's in the O2 bracket. That's funny too. Alright, Skyclave's going to be a good answer to this. Or how about I just play a Mirran Crusader? Maybe probably a bit safer to play the Skyclave just in case my opponent has a red burn spell. We've solved the metagame. My opponent's like, wait, this is game 1. Did I consider some devotion payoff for this deck? I mean, you tell me a good devotion payoff, and then I'll tell you if it's good enough considering. But I don't think Nykthos is good enough. I don't think you want to play a Heliod, and that's like the only 2 devotion payoffs in white, right? Second Goyf. We could lose if they have a burn spell for my Crusader, and I flood out pretty badly. But main deck Crusader is pretty good if they don't have a burn spell. There's a 5-mana one that makes 1/1s. I think that card's 6 mana. They do have a bolt. Alright, that's good for us. Third Goyf, wow. Fair enough. I mean, Lightcaster is solid in this matchup, but we don't have the Painter Servant to actually exile Tarmogoyf yet. But if they have Lurrus or Shadow or Scourge, although I guess they can't really play Scourge, we can Lightcaster it. This is Protection Tribal. This is Painter Servant. So Painter Servant can make everything black. And then Lightcaster is going to be protection from everything. Exile a permanent when it enters the battlefield. Crusader will be protection from everything. Double Strike. Champion protection from everything. The idea. And then you're also just kind of like a green-white deck, you know. I guess I'll just actually Lightcaster the Shadow, then hold up Eladamri's Call. Might just get a Skyclave, might not show them the Painter Servant. Yeah, Lightcaster's a super cool card. Why did I choose Pro Black over a different color? Well, I was looking at different payoffs for being Painter Servant, right? And so I looked at the Neoform Painter Servant deck that popped up a few years ago. I remember talking about it with some friends. It was a pretty cool deck that tried to like get Servants in play as consistently as possible by playing Mana Dorks and Neoform, and play like main deck Disputes and Veil of Summers. And I was just kind of looking at, I looked at like every protection creature in the format, and I looked at a lot of payoffs for color hate cards, and Lightcaster kind of seemed like one of the best ones to me. And then you also get to play Veil of Summer, which is great. Getting to play Giver of Runes to protect your Painter Servant and also give protection from everything seems nice to me too. Eladamri's Call is also lets you have some consistency in getting your Painter Servants, which seems good to me. Obviously, like, this is my first match with Painter Servant, so I probably didn't just break it, but I think we've got a good first draft. I want the Anthonices. The problem is, in this matchup, every single card seems to be great. One thing we could actually do here is we could actually probably trim Painter Servants, because my opponent's deck is already mostly black. You're confused about Pro everything. Well, so Painter Servant makes everything black, and if something has protection from black, it has protection from everything. Is the idea. I did consider Purge. Maybe I should be playing Purge over Skyclave. But I kind of just like the idea of just being able to like win if you don't have Painter Servant in play, which I think this deck can do. I mean, you could play Coco in this deck. I'm just kind of choosing to play Call instead. We've got like a decent number of misses. Yeah, I think I'm actually trimming Painter Servant just because our hate is pretty good against them. Maybe we could like the 4th Hierarch too. Trim Vial and discard matchup? Could see trimming Vial. Yeah, maybe Toski is a card we want in this matchup too. I can keep this. It's gonna be way better on the play. Obviously, this is just like any shadow matchup is gonna be a super ideal one. They might have a discard spell that they're just sandbagging here. Trazreth, 5 months. Every time I tune in, it's always an interesting list. That's the goal. That's the goal. Probably gonna tutor up Auriok Champion. I could get my Painter Servant. And then power up these Veils. Yeah, let's do that. Especially my opponent's probably fuming a bit still, so kind of telling them what's up seems nice. Does Painter Servant let you exile lands with Celestial Purge? It does. Or Devout Lightcaster. My opponent's like, oh, I see. See what we draw. I might wait to play Servant with double Veil up. Yeah, my opponent's not doing much. I think it's kind of fine to just like play Vial with double Veil up this turn. Painter Servant plus Hibernation. That is interesting. Opponent also kept a pretty bad hand. I wonder if that's because they're tilted. Yeah, this deck is probably not good to watch for people who already despise Veil of Summer. Hi.
Do you think this sweater is too big? It's supposed to be cropped.
Yeah, a little bit.
I need extras. Dina, okay.
I mean, we are flooding out a bit, to be fair. They found their second land. A blue-green version of Dispute is funny. I've seen lists like that before. They are kind of interesting, yeah. Veil of Summer, Tarmogoyf. Obviously, I'm just gonna Skyclave though. Weird that they didn't attack. I also kind of imagine my opponent's pretty off of it, you know. Right, let me just Skyclave the Goyf. I guess we could have also we could have Eladamri's called for Devout Lightcaster and then exile the land, but the problem with that line is that we don't have Vial up. You'd love to see Stoneforge in this deck. I thought about playing Stoneforge. I didn't really feel like there was a ton of room. Honestly, it's like what would you cut for the Stoneforge plus Sword package? I would add Yorion Spike. I would add Yorion. But I did find their third land. So we might not be stone raining them. Oh yeah. Equipment plus protection plus servant is a non-bow, right? Or plus protection creatures. Because the sword is black and you can't, and so if you have Crusader or you have any pro-black creatures and you equip a sword to it, you can't do that. Right. Oh, glad I didn't like show up with that interaction today. That'd be pretty embarrassing. Probably just getting Lightcaster. Let's see what we draw. We have so many good draws in the deck here. I can't believe we're not running Force of Despair. It'd be kind of funny, Force of Despair with no black sources. Yeah, this is just the nightmare matchup for our opponent. Yeah, I don't think we need to Anthonize the Swift Spear either, since we can just block it with the Lightcaster for now. Although now that their discard spells are live, I'll just empty my hand. They haven't cast a single discard spell this game. It kind of felt like they were sandbagging some. Fair Painter Servant, do I have an infinite combo? I don't. I mean, I think all the combos in mod, they're just like there's like Grindstone isn't legal. There probably are some combos with Painter Servant, but they're probably too fragile and convoluted to like actually play. Okay. They did discard a Shadow earlier. Triple Shadow would be pretty bad here. Maybe. Thoughts on using Anthonize on Skyclave to exile their green source. You can only exile creatures your opponents control. But I also don't understand how that would exile their green source, I guess. Is Flicker Wisp just 2 but more? I mean, it doesn't have synergy with Painter Servant. But, I mean, obviously Flicker Wisp was a good card. I am kind of scared here. We could lose. If we just keep flooding out. Never mind. I mean, I'm going to leave this back to block a Shadow. We are going to take one hit, probably. Wait, does Sphinx's Tutelage combo with Painter Servant? How did I feel with the Team Toski list you sent me? I thought it was fine. I thought I'd message you back. It was interesting. Probably not great, but looks fun. No, because of lands? 2 just specifies non-land, I see. Cool. Almost very exciting. Wait, we're dead to TBR. I guess we could Veil of Summer if they TBR. I think they have no cards in their hand. I'm going to Veil just to cycle. Okay. Losing a game would be pretty embarrassing. People have been suggesting Bitter Blossom plus Toski like non-stop recently, and I just like I'm just not that into it, I think. So we can Skyclave this, double block Tarmogoyf with the other two Skyclaves. And then they only get to kill one if they can't grow this to beyond 3/4. Yeah, Bitter Blossom I think is an unplayable modern card. Like I think that card is just at an active detriment to your deck. Is this a Dono deck? It's a Dono deck, or I guess more specifically a Dono brew, which is where you can request a card for me to build around. This request was Painter Servant, and I built the list. Why did I miss lethal? Because my opponent's at 6 and I had 5 points of power in play. Is why I missed lethal. Because I didn't have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're at 6. Oh, that's a great draw. Wasn't there a deck tech for Sultan Affairs with Toski? I remember seeing one, but not even that list ran Blood Brady. Yeah, I really just don't think you should put Bitter Blossom in your deck. At the time of making this comment. We're dead to Teamer Battle Rage. I think that's about it. But I'm interested in playing a Jund Assault Loam for a Dono deck. Do you have a list, or are you asking me to build one? All of my fucking creatures are core, except for the Servant. This is terrible. Devout Lightcaster is a core. Witch's Vengeance? I'd likely need to flesh it out. Maybe. I'm not sure. So we go to 1 here, but I don't think we have outs. Well, can't believe my opponent had a hate card against me. No, the Hierarch doesn't work because we have to chump with the Painter Servant, so they have now blue blockers. Yeah, no, I don't think we had any outs. I might play the Toski, though. Kind of down to trim a Vial for a Toski in this matchup. I guess it feels a bit weird cutting a Vial for a 4-drop, but I think Toski's good against them, and we probably only lose this matchup by flooding out. If you told me at the start of the game, after the opponent missed their second land for 3 turns, we would lose, I would not believe it. Yeah, Witch's Vengeance. The sideboard card against us, I guess. Is this a core? It's human. I mean, this matchup is, you know, absurdly good, so I'm not feeling too worried about game 3. If we lose this match, this deck is a failure. Tesla plus Servant on black is infinite removal. Yeah, chat was mentioning that earlier. You have to be black, which is not like that high a cost. It's kind of interesting. Core only from Zendikar, as far as I know. Yeah, as far as I understand. Giver is also a core. This is the first deck of the day, yeah. Next we have, I was asked to build around the 2-mana Lazov from Guilds of Ravnica, or whatever that set was. I'm pretty excited for that list too. Yeah, I think this deck is definitely sweet, but I absolutely, of course, think that this is not going to be like a good deck in Modern. But that's part of the fun. We actually get to relax and play some jank on Thursdays. Just have a good time. The core on Dominaria were transplanted from Zendikar. They're a core on Dominaria? Were they like brought there by Nahiri or something? That's kind of cool. Tutor ill core. My DM still won't let me play a core in D&D. This is a weird hands. I think I'm gonna mulligan. Maybe not. We don't actually have the Vial up on turn 1, and these Onthanizes can't enchant anything now. But they are good in the matchup. Alright, I'll keep. Weird hand, though. You've outlawed playing Vidalcan because they're super pushed. I think I'd be more interested if you feel like Erase is super pushed, and Vidalcan definitely is. Just like nerfing it, you know? So people can still play classes they want to flavorfully. But whatever, right? It's your table. I wonder if I should have played... Yes, Lazav's Stifle Knot's kind of cool. I could have maybe played just a Legacy Lazav Dreadnought deck. You could play as a human who thinks they're core. That's so boring. I don't know. Everybody likes different things. Oh boy. We draw Snowland or Fetch Land? We don't. I think I'm going to cycle... If we sack this and we miss, we don't have Vial up. I think that's a risk I'm willing to take. Sack your only land. 5 head. I don't know, like letting them untap with Chandler is pretty scary, but this is probably not the right line. Yeah, we will lose to Kolagon's command. It is Scarred Brutality. Yeah. I found an Inquisition. So embarrassing. Like the most impulsive play ever. Although we still get a Champion in play. Champion's very good against them. Alright, I declare everything to be fine. Declare everything to be fine. So we definitely have way more 3-drops to draw into than 2-drops. But I think with them just taking the Skyclave, I'm gonna keep the Vial on 2. What an embarrassing game. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh, what an embarrassing game. I thought I was I did like genuinely feel like I was due to draw a land, but no one's ever due to draw a land, of course. If we draw one here, we're doing okay. Losing against Shadow is like the ultimate feel bad with this deck. I can't believe it. Atos 3 months. Helped on see a message for the Subversity. Now I see 0 lands. Whatever happened, I don't know. It all happened so fast. Why don't we rip off Veils as a redraw? I mean, that only works if they have a black spell, right? Like you can't just cycle Veil without them casting a black spell first. But this was we didn't play correctly. We did not play correctly. I think I'm taking this up to 3 now. All right, all right. We might still win. Easy. Draw a green source. We can call for a Devout Lightcaster. Or did the TBR, yeah. Surely that wasn't them counting, right? Should you take the Chandler stuff? Not this turn, but we can take we can authorize the Chandler next turn if we need to. But with 2 8/8s, I don't think we want to take that extra damage. But now I'll get the Channeler. Yeah, I do have a full house. They have Lurrus in their hand, which isn't doing a ton right now. Second Chandler is actually pretty scary. TSP Jindrik, thanks for the raid, dude. Hope you're having a good day today. We're playing a donation deck today. A donation deck built around Painter Servant. One of my design. I almost clicked yes on that. And I think we're about to find a way to lose the unlosable matchup due to horrible play. If we can draw either Devout Lightcaster or a green source for Eladamri's Call, we can stabilize here. But a 2-drop or a basic, basic plains bones us. Toski, oh my gosh. Found a way to lose the unlosable matchup. Mulligan this hand. Keep this one. I think we're putting back second fetch land. Yeah, that was painful, but hopefully the pain is over now and we can bounce back. Yeah, the idea is you name black with Painter and you power up your Auriok Champions and Crusaders and Devout Lightcasters and Veil of Summers. And then you also just like still have, you know, reasonable game plans. Sometimes Veil of Summer is just nuts. Sometimes Auriok Champion. I mean, Auriok Champion in the main deck is just fine in Modern right now. Yeah. It wasn't the deck losing that unlosable matchup. It was definitely me there. Oh, I guess we're playing against Heliod. Kind of a weird draw that they have there. Painter Servant's a good draw. I'm gonna just Skyclave this though this turn. Smack him for 6. That seems kind of bad, but let me know who it is. Yeah, I'll DM you. I mean, Thursday was we like definitely acknowledge that we usually play a lot of jank, you know. That's absolutely what's happening here, and it's a good time. The mirror, it's kind of funny. I think I'm gonna Skyclave this. Person was to the person above chat. Gotcha. Sorry if I sounded too snarky. Skyclave is real good. Conclave Mentor. And Conclave Mentor, huh? Big draw step. Not a very big draw though. I'm just gonna get this in play still. In black. They probably weren't expecting this. Scared of a ballista here. They just took it. Probably not a great sign for us. I mean, I guess like can't really expect them to double block there. Maybe I was supposed to Painter Servant to try to protect my Crusader. That could have been the winning line. And they Ranger Captain for a Ballista. How beatable is that? Ballista's going to be maybe a 5/5 if they have a land. Seems not very beatable. Especially not if we're drawing Marsh Flats. Where's my idyllic range? Wait, what? Oh, that's funny. I don't think that's how that's supposed to work. Alright, I'm gonna kill their Conclave Mentor here. This is funny. So we're gonna side in the Revoker. Gaddock Teeg stops Coco, doesn't actually stop Ballista though. Also play some amount of Anthonice, maybe. They shock in Temple Garden, so they can go down to 4 life and play a 4/4 Ballista. Which is probably not beatable, but we'll take a draw step. Probably need to draw Skyclave. Definitely want this Revoker. Is Teeg just being a meddling mage naming Coco good? Maybe. I think we can probably afford to cut the Auriok champions in this matchup. Kinda want to play Toski. Let's play 2 on the nice though. Maybe we have too many Veil of Summers in this matchup. Like it does stop Skyclave if we have the Painter Servant. Probably want like 2. I don't think I want Mindcensor. I don't think I want Ouphe either. Like Ouphe stops my Vials. I think I want Ouphe like more so like it's like specifically Tron and then Artifact Matters decks. I think just stopping Ballista when it also stops my Vials is probably not all that good. Don't they tutor a bunch? No. Like a lot of lists don't even play Eladamri's Call. They play just Collected Company instead. I guess they have Ranger Captain. Kind of forgot about Ranger Captain. Yeah, we're main decking the Veils. 4 main deck Veils to combo with Painter Servant. Alright, so we can play Crusader this turn, and then next turn we can call for Painter Servant if we want to. And then like that will blank a Skyclave Apparition on a Crusader. And maybe we'll just kill him real quick. Does Servant make Stirrings look at the bottom 5 cards of your library? Oh yeah! Painter Servant I think just like turns Ancient Stirrings into a dead card. It's kind of good Tron tech maybe. Although if my opponent plays Auriok Champion, we're also giving our opponent's Auriok Champion protection from everything. So maybe we would have to name green. Yeah, I'm going to try to play around the Skyclave like I didn't do last time. Yeah, and I'm going to name black, of course, because I have the Lightcasters, but I'm a little scared of Auriok Champion. Oh, we may just be able to just attack through it, of course. How do you beat Heliod decks in general? What are their bad matchups? I think that they struggle against Mono Green Tron. Blue Red Prowess I think is a pretty even matchup, but maybe they're favored. I think Jeskai Control has a good Heliod matchup. Bant Ephemerate has an okay one. We did it. We played around the Skyclave. Still have good attacks too. Big draw step. Not a very big draw. I kind of just want to Teeg this turn and stop them from Cocoing. It's like their board doesn't like demand a Skyclave right now. See if they have a second Skyclave for the Crusader. They did pause after the Skyclave, so it seemed like they didn't really realize that the Servant was protecting the Crusader. Yeah, now we get to Skyclave Heliod. They also have a 1-drop. Sure. If I draw a land, am I going to double Skyclave? I guess I will, because that lets me attack with my 2/2s. I saw you playing Jeskai Wildfire 2 sometimes that I uploaded somewhere. I have a YouTube channel that I have an editor who just uploads all the content, and I, you know, he's kind of got, you know, full reign over what he chooses to upload. You can also watch the VOD if you don't want to wait for it to be uploaded. I'm sure a league or 2 from that stream will go up in the next few days. Can you pet Athena? Is she around? She's not currently around. Thank you for asking, though. I probably need to, like, either hike up the price of that or just get rid of it for a while, sadly. I just feel bad. So they're chumping. I guess they're just dead to me, exiling their champion, right? Or they're not dead, but yeah, they're not dead because they go to 4. They go to 4 off the ETB. Then they have the ability to go up to 10. What's the Painter Servant payoff? Devout Lightcaster, Veil of Summer, Mirran Crusader, Auriok Champion. Giver of Runes, kind of. I feel like they probably should have just gained 2 more. Rather than, like, try to get a 3-3. That's a good top deck. Because that can deal with my Crusader next turn. We'll see if it's too late, though. Exile this. Attack with everything. They can't block this. They go down to 3. Yeah, they're dead if they don't play the Ballista on 1 right now. They might still be dead anyways. No, this is not a good Nykthos deck. I mean, Nykthos is also like just kind of bad not being able to cast Lightcaster or Auriok Champion. It's not like we have a big mana payoff. It's just like mostly going to be a waste, I think. Yeah, exile this to go down to 3, block, die. Maybe I'm not supposed to show them Anthonice. Probably doesn't matter that much. They're dead on board. Their 1 card is Ballista, right? Okay. Yeah, but as hard as I tried, I couldn't just make Grindstone Modern Legal. Wait, aren't they taking 6? Block. No, they're taking 4. They're taking 8. They can't block this. They could draw into Path off Canopy, I guess, yeah. So maybe I should have played around that. Conclave Gain Life. Conclave Gaining Life is a trigger that goes on the stack after they're dead. There's no first strike damage for them to take advantage of, besides the Crusader that this can't block. But they can go block and try to draw into Path. So and we didn't play around that, which we could have. Although I guess they would still be alive because they just pathed the Crusader. Not Skyclaving is loose, I guess. I didn't think that they had outs because we know their last card. Friend tried the card Hibernation as a Painter Servant payoff. Let me reread Hibernation. So I'm pretty sure that's just return all green permanents to their owner's hands. So it becomes a Upheaval for 3 mana. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, we know their last card is Ballista. Kind of interesting. But like, what's the idea beyond that? Sinks' tutelage is a Painter payoff. Well, I mean, it specifies non-land though is the problem. So right. So if they ever just hit 2 lands in a row, it stops the combo. It's just not a kill, and it probably takes like 5 turns to kill them, which is too slow, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna bring in the Mindcensor. Should have probably had it all along. Upheaval is bad without fast mana. I mean, when it costs 3 mana, it gets a bit better. I'm gonna keep this. Sounds good. Keenan Drum, Urza. Playing with Urza sounds kind of exciting. Maybe someone will donate for that next week. I'm probably gonna have to revoke her naming Spike Feeder here, right? Please do not feed me. This hand would have really loved to have a Vial in play right now. They have Ballista. Okay, so they get to kill my Revoker. But then we get to Skyclave Heliod. We can't win against Infinite Life. Nope. I don't think so. Yeah, I think we're supposed to Skyclave Heliod over Ballista. We just lose to the Infinite Life so easily. Yikes. Shit's bad. It's better to clave the Ballista since that's the more mana intensive part of the combo. The thing is, like, we're dead to Spike Feeder if we don't kill the Heliod. So we can, of course, Painter Servant for Devout Lightcaster or Skyclave if we feel like they're gonna kill the Servant. And hope. All right. Why did I fucking forget about this? No, I didn't have any outs, but yeah. Sorry, but I felt like there just weren't quite enough creatures for that to really work. And then also, like, the card Lazav was also, like, pretty medium in the deck, so I ended up going a little bit harder on the Lazav, playing Hunted Horror for it to copy 2 in addition to Kroxa and Shadow, which you can copy. Pretty excited for it. We also get Lurrus as a companion. How do I feel about Gerard's verdict in MH2? I think it would be okay. I would be down. I've been saying I would be down for that for a while. Okay. Amulet of Vigor. Guess I'm playing Champion. Need to draw a Painter Servant. Oh boy, double Amulet. Double Amulet. Painter Servant. I think I'm sacking this. Okay, we drew the Painter Servant. Although I think I'm gonna make sure my Giver can protect it. It may be just a little too late because we can't actually exile an opponent's permanent here. So my opponent's probably gonna get to Titan me next turn, and I might just be dead. But close. It's also possible, sometimes, like, they keep double Amulet and they just don't have a bounce land, and double Amulet is so enticing they just hope to draw one. But triple Amulet is bad for us. Although Valakut means they can't Titan if they don't have a way to play an extra land. Yeah, it seems like they just kept on the strength of double Amulet here. Which is pretty exciting, honestly. Alright, so play Hierarch, attack for 3, play Painter Servants. And then if they do draw a bounce land, we can exile it at instant speed. And my Auriok Champions have protection from everything, which is kind of nice. Colony Garden. We could exile this. I think I might just want to exile the Titan. No, if they Titan, they just get to Titan a million more times because of these amulets. Castle exile? No, I think it's better to exile the Garden. Does protection stop trample? It doesn't, no. We also are going to gain a lot of life. We have to attack for 4, probably. Yeah, I guess we just attack with the Lightcaster. We can attack with the Painter Servant too and attack for 5. Explore, oh no. They conceded! Yes! That was a super early concession though. Like, my opponent's probably like pretty favored to win that game, honestly. But things get way better for us games 2 and 3, so I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling great even. I think I want to cut the Veils. Teeg doesn't do anything. Bring in the Toski. I'll play 1 Veil over like champion number 3. Champion's not that good. Or maybe I should be playing actually Ontanice. It's probably good to play a few copies of this. You can Veil to survive Valakut triggers. That's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. Probably better just play Ontanice though. Try not to get into that situation. On the draw, game 2 against Amulet. We've won at least 1 game every match. Well, I'm not going to mulligan Aven Mindcensor against Amulet. Although turn 3 on the draw can definitely be too slow. I think that they maybe messed up here. Oh no, sorry. It felt like that they didn't have yeah, it felt like they had already clicked OK and that they messed up and didn't respond to the bounce trigger, but I guess that just wasn't the case. Although, if they don't have another bounce land, they can't Titan us next turn. Probably just losing to, you know, the quintessential Titan draw. I assume you feel the deck feels weak despite Skyclaves. Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely just playing some jank today, as we always do on Thursday. 1 land. I kind of like Skyclaving the Vial here. If we Skyclave Vial, like my opponent needs exactly Castle Garenbrig to go off, and they didn't have it this last turn. Oh, sorry, Skyclave the Amulet, not the Vial. But if we leave this and they somehow have 2 untapped lands, which they probably don't. Have you seen the Hollow and Breach list at 5 a little bit? Yeah, I've seen it. I don't know how good it is, but I've seen it. I tried brewing a little bit with Burgi in mono red lists, and Burgi is a super duper powerful card. But the problem is, like, it's fragile, and a lot of times the cards you need to play to make Burgi good just aren't that good. They can transmute for a bounce land. They don't need to have 2 untapped lands. They could just have 1 castle. I said that. I said that yes, they can just have a castle, but they didn't have 1 last turn. But I did talk about castle in my decision process. Like, if they had castle last turn, they could have tightened. I think they're just kind of clearly light on lands here. Feels like my opponent has something. And so do we. Potential for Burgi and the Rune Tutor guy. I don't really remember exactly what all the runes do. I remember, like, seeing the Rune Tutor guy and thinking that, you know, the mana reduction is interesting, but I don't remember exactly what the runes do, so... I mean, like, probably not, right? But maybe. Right, they do have Dismember, they get to eat my Skyclaves, which stinks. Yeah, probably just not being a 6/6, so maybe they'll be on Summoner's Pact here. Aven Mindcensor is so good against Summoner's Pact. Still hit 2 lands. Obviously not the lands they necessarily wanted, but... Mostly they're 1 mana. I mean, the problem with like this plan though, the problem with like Bergie plus the Rune guy is that your engine is 2/3 mana sorcery speed creatures that are super vulnerable to removal, and it's not like you're even winning the game when you get to untap with them and you have to put a bunch of runes in your deck. It doesn't feel like it's there. A little late on the sphere. The Servant is just a value card in this deck. There's like really no good combo with Painter Servant. Like, I guess Hibernation is kind of exciting to be Upheaval. And maybe that was going to be a good... Maybe that would have been the better shell with Urza. Some people have been suggesting that, and it has sounded kind of good. Well... Damping Sphere would have been so good even just a turn earlier. Them's the beats, I guess. We do have some outs of the Primeval Titan. We've got some Onthanize. We can't beat another 6/6 trample, though. Let's go to game 3. To be on the play, which is nice. Yeah, Wurza with Painter Hibernation does seem pretty cool. Opponent showed us Dismember. Let me actually play some Veil Summers. Do something like this. Alright, do we just believe that we'll draw a Painter? We have 8 Painters in our deck. We have 4 Eladamri's Call, 4 Painter. I think so. Just like Painter plus Devout Lightcaster is one of our best draws. We even have Veil of Summer to protect Painter from a Dismember. We also have other good draws like Mindcensor or Damping Sphere, so we've got like 12 good draws in the deck. And we also have Hope. We have Hope. Not too bad for us, but also not too good. Probably shouldn't cast the Vial into the EE on 1. I think they're going to upkeep crack the explosives. That's when I would do it. They're just doing it now, sure. Alright, Painter Servant or Eladamri's Call. I guess we'll just take a double striking 2/2. And Pro Green is actually pretty relevant in this matchup. Can't be dismembered either. Yeah, Crusader is actually kind of sick. I play 3/3, 3 mana 2/2 on turn 3. And then I hope that's 3 damage. Zeusa. Alright, we've done a really bad job of drawing the Painter Servant. It's on me. If I 0-4, I'm going to drop, by the way. I think that's fair. I think we can all... Why we have Veil against Titan. We saw Dismember in game 2. We also, of course, have Painter Servant to give Veil a bit more power. Can protect from Valakut. Alright, we have a chance if we draw Painter Servant still. Maybe even a decent chance, because it seems like they don't have a Titan. Well, that's maybe just like famous last words. Yeah, I certainly knew that this deck didn't have legs when I took on the challenge. I thought we'd do a little bit better than this. I was pretty excited. I like Devout Lightcaster a lot. It's going to put us out of our misery. Tough stuff. Definitely a fun brew to put together. We did at least win one game each match. But we're moving on. I don't...